Hello and welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel with myself, Tobrise. And again, welcome. Before we start, listen, you guys have to watch the intro straight off. Welcome. All righty. All right. Okay, so as you can see, there's four of us: Jamal, Coach Barry, and Mimi. Right now, we've been trying to contact Winger's agent. Jamal's been on the phone. Coach Barry's been on the phone. Mimi's been doing bat signals, and at this present moment, he's not responded. So, hopefully, he will jump on later on. But anyway, this is the Amateur Football Unhinged show. My name is Tobrise, the host. I've got three of the pillars of the show, and also pillars within grassroots football: Jamal Horn, Coach Barry, and Mimi from MO Football Coaching. Before we begin, Jamal, could you just again introduce yourself if no one out there actually knows exactly what you do?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. London Cup organizer, senior referee. My name is Jamal Horn. Thank you so much.
And let's go to Mimi.
Good evening. My name is Mimi. I head up MO Football Coaching, specialising in one-to-one group sessions and team training.
And Coach Genius Barry.
So good evening, Barry Gordon, founder of Independent Football Club since 1988. I'm one of the co-founders of Accra from Summerleyton, Brixton in 1983.
Great stuff.
1988, you know. Wow.
Guys, 1988.
I mean, you literally, I think every time I think I'm a grown man, Coach Barry makes me feel like a little youth.
Again, we have a wealth of experience on this panel. Big shout out to Mark. Thank you, Jamal, and to Bruce for being at the finals today. Actually, Jamal, you was there. Could you briefly talk about what was happening at Colliers Wood?
Colliers Wood United Football Club, Southern Sunday League, one of the largest Sunday leagues in Britain, had two of the cup finals tonight. Two excellently delivered cup finals in Southern Sunday League. Really enjoyed them. It was good to do some filming and interact with the spectators, the referees, and with both sets of teams. Two decent games. People always want to talk about cup finals. It's always good to see when cup finals are interesting and competitive. So the Southern Sunday League really have to be happy with themselves. They really should be proud of themselves. Two very well run cup finals, it was always good to be at those sort of cup finals. Really good.
Yeah, and I was there. I'm the sponsor. I was a sponsor, depending on how you look at it, at the of the Frank Bludston Cup final, and that was played. That was Swag versus Lazio. Swag won 5-2. I won't say convincingly. It was a great game to watch. And again, thank you to the Southern Sunday, to Colliers Wood, Jamal coming down and to actually film. And
the swag match was different. It would have been interesting if Coach Barry and Mimi were there because, Swag obviously took a pretty comfortable, commanding 3-0 lead. It'll be interesting to see Coach Barry's sort of response to this. They're 3-0 up at halftime, and some could even argue that was a flattering scoreline. It could have been more. And Coach Barry, I think they conceded in the second half. Must have been after 100 seconds. It was very, very quick. And then, you're looking at a 3-0 lead where one team looks leaps and bounds better than the opposition. And then the opposition score after the first minute or 2 minutes to make it 3-1. And the complexion of the match completely changes. I chose refereeing over coaching because I think refereeing, you have so much more control over your performance. Coaching and managing, you are just on the side. You may think you can affect this and that, but what goes through your head when you're seeing your team so much better than the opposition? The opposition scored to make it 3-1, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, wait a second, we're in trouble here." What do you do?
I always try and slow the game, stop the game, try and do something to get back the momentum.
Oh, you're one of those. Even Jamaica, you're Italian. What you say?
Yeah, you have to sometimes. You have to, because sometimes the pendulum swings and it's very hard to get back that momentum.
Guys, you know what, guys? Sorry, guys. I just have to interrupt you guys. I think from Winger's G-Wagon, I think he has one of those satellite dishes, and I think his agent has just WhatsApp me now saying that Winger is now available to talk. Let me see if I can get Winger on the line. Winger, how you doing, sir? Winger?
I know them G-Wagon satellites. See, obviously my G-Wagon satellite.
Winger, can you hear us? Okay, he can't hear us. I'm gonna literally take him off, and then hopefully he can kind of get a better signal. But I mean, again, yeah, exactly what Jamal said. It was a dominant performance, and again, Lazio came out fighting, and they scored 2 goals on the break. And hey, yeah, two like decent goals. Their like striker scored a classy hat trick, and I think it was deserved, wasn't it, Jamal?
Yeah, it was one of those ones where some coaches would have really, really been frustrated. To be 3-0, and then when it was 3-2, things were looking very, very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. But obviously, Lazio did well to make it a really good contest.
Yeah.
But Swag had a little bit too much quality, and it became 4-2 and 5-2. It was similar to the Independent Vets final, where they're under the cosh, and then they end up winning comfortably in the end. It was like, why was everyone worried in the first place? What was the big deal? They had it covered. They just wanted to make it a little interesting. But in reality, that if you're one of those sort of coaches, that should have been a 6-7-0 today. It was 3-2 with about sort of 20-25 minutes left. And it was looking really 50-50. Comfortable in the end, but boy.
Tobrise and Jamal, I've been hearing a lot about Swag. How would you put them on that Sunday grassroots scene? What level would you put them? Are they good enough to go into the league with Lambeth and the Dons? I've been hearing a lot about Swag.
Well, okay, so Swag played SC Dons last season, right, in the London Cup, and SC Dons beat them. Was it 5 or 6?
Oh no, I don't think they played each other last. I don't think.
They actually did in the London Cup.
London Cup.
Yeah. I don't think they did last season. I
think it might have been the year before.
It might have been the year before. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. So like, not the one that just gone. It's the one previous.
Yeah, 1920.
Yeah, 1920. And
season,
what was the score? It was like 4 or 5 or 6.
I think it was quite high. It was a high scoring game.
Okay.
I think Swag have definitely improved. They can have a strong team ethic, and they do have sprinkles of gold dust. I love to use that phrase, sprinkles of gold dust. Do I think they have the strength in depth to actually compete with that type, teams like SC Dons, Lambeth, Kamazi? I don't think so. Week in, week out.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't see them. Could I see? No, I wouldn't see them being relegated from the Prem, but they would be, probably maybe a position or two higher than the Prem. Oh yeah, sorry, it was previous. It was 8. Okay, so
it's quite high.
It was quite
8.
high. Yeah, it was
the
8.
Previous season, yeah.
Previous season. But Jamal, I would kind of love to get your opinion about Swag.
Yeah, Swag looked good. I think it's difficult to judge a team off of one performance, especially when they were able to dominate the opposition for large parts of the match. If they were to play a team that is of a pretty high standard. You know, they might raise their game, or they might shut down. It really does depend on the team. I would consider them to be a really, really good Sunday league team. I wouldn't quite put them in that elite category because, you know, elite grassroots isn't Sunday league. It's basically some really, really good non-league players. And I wouldn't expect 5, 6, 7 of the swag players to get into step 5, step 4, step 3 non-league clubs, which is no diss at all. I mean, a lot of really good players, you know, it would struggle to play at that level. But I say they were a really, really good Sunday team, and I would expect them to beat any other sort of decent Sunday team. And in terms of the elite grassroots, you know, the Beatties, the SE Dons, the Champions, Grand Athletic, that's a complete different standard. It's a complete different standard.
And Coach Barry, so if like one of your teams were like winning by 5, 6, or 7, I mean, what's your mentality? Are you kind of looking to get more goals, or literally are you kind of now looking at different phases of play and literally try to take certain things that you take, you know, like you do in training, and now take it into a match? Or literally, are you more of a relentless type of coach where you just want more and more goals?
The whole point is just the players to remain professional and to remain in control of the game. That's what we look for with the young players. Can you still keep doing the right things, keep control of the game, and stay professional? With a lot of young teams, when they're playing, they're winning 5-0. Everybody wants to score a goal. Everybody's running forward. We try to keep our shape, keep our patterns of play, and keep the boys just playing football. It's not about goals. It's all about doing the right things, keeping the right shape, keep moving the ball the right way, and remain your discipline. It's hard sometimes. The young ones, it's very hard because everybody wants to get in on the action. But the main thing is for them to enjoy it and learn about the game. But we do try to make them, when you're winning, is how to keep control, keep possession, keep moving that ball. So that's the main thing we focus on, to educate them how to win a game, how to control the game, and how to keeping possession is the main thing. At that stage when you win, just keep possession, move the ball, wear your opposition out.
And if the boot was on the other foot and you was losing by
well,
you know what, I you know, I'm just it's a very, you know, it's a hypothetical question. You know, if you know, if like certain things were not going right, and you know you and like, you know, the like result wasn't going your way by I understand by a kind of big like margin. I mean, what's your kind of whole mentality in terms of
well, my main thing, my main strategy before the game has failed. I've got to change my whole strategy and the whole way we have to approach the game now. We have to reset and change things. We might have to just really pack the midfield and defense and just try our best and just try and play counter-attack football. That's our main strategy, and try and concede less, keep the shape. Once again, it's all about discipline. Make it very, very difficult for the opposition to break us down and try and get something on their counter-attack. If we go gung-ho, we might end up absolutely being destroyed, which has happened before. It's a learning process for the players as well. And sometimes even for the new coaches, it's a very good learn, because you don't want to set up your team just to defend, but sometimes if the opposition is clearly better than you, sometimes you just have to say, come on, let's just try and do this. It's another way of training, get your team. It's all about being, once again, the discipline has to come in, to stay strong, stay compact, hold them off, might get squeezed something from a counter-attack. But 5-0, usually the game's dead.
Yeah.
Just to keep that down, keep discipline, let's just defend, keep them out. We're not going to concede no more. Unless we get we want to score a nice break or counter-attack and we keep it tight. Cool. That's what keep the encouragement. Players lose their head when they're 5-0 down. Some get angry, some get emotional, and that's what you've got to try. And that's the part of being a good coach and a good manager, to keep everyone disciplined. It's one of those days, it's gone, let's move on. Let's finish off the game and move on. But everyone's got a different strategy to use. That's our strategy.
Thank you to everyone that's literally put questions in. We will get those answered. I think we will try and contact Winger again. And let's kind of try and get him on. Football Scout TV, and this is a coach to you, Mimi. Has Football League improved in the last 10 years?
Cool. Yeah, in Sunday League last year, we're looking at we're on that what, since 2011.
Yes.
2010, turn of the decade. Yeah, 100%. Right through from even youth and the introduction of the Kent Youth League, more so with more sort of South London-based teams wanting to compete in the Kent Youth League, and then sort of within the men's game in the last 5-6 years, 10 years, I'd say. In terms of the competitiveness, similar to like what Jamal was saying about at the top end of men's open age Sunday league, is more like a Sunday league sort of competitive non-league level. So it's definitely 100% improvement in terms of the quality and the caliber of players from league to league, from area to area.
And how has coaching changed?
Oh yeah, well, from well, you look at the FA model and how they like to rebrand how the level 1, level 2, the UEFA B. I'm sure maybe when Coach Barry was doing his qualifications, they're probably different to when I was doing mine. In terms of how we coach, how we see our player, and how we want our player, how we want our players in this country to play. Obviously, with the England DNA, the future player that was launched. Is it in 2000? Was that in 2010? The England DNA. Yeah.
Has it been that long? Has it been that long?
Is it 2012? 2010 or 12? No.
I'm trying to think what started it. I know England qualified for Euro 2008. Started it.
Probably around about that, and then the World Cup. So I think so obviously with the introduction of the England DNA and the future player, that has changed again how coaches deliver their sessions on the training ground. So 100% it has changed, and hopefully it's all changed for the better in terms of coaching. Sort of a new wave of coaches. I'll probably call myself like a new generation, like a modern coach. I class myself as a modern this day and age coach, opposed to a coach who maybe trained many years before me.
And that's a perfect segue to Coach Barry. I mean, do you kind of implement like the new wave of coaching, or again, I mean, like for you, like how's coaching changed in the past 30 years rather than 10?
Well, I think a lot of people can say it's a new way, but the way coaching's gone, if you've ever been abroad, and places like the Dutch were doing this type of coaching for years. The type of style we're trying to get into now, but for in this country, it's completely changed up, and it's great to see so many young coaches. It's become much more competitive. People are trying new things on the coaching ground. Just like when it's made people more adaptable and more creative. So it's really good to see. I'm seeing so much young coaches so creative now, where everybody just followed this book, but now it's become much more creative. It's good to see teams playing all different styles, than everybody just playing the same way. So it's really good to see. Some people still play the old way, but I just love it. I just love that all the young coaches are coming with all these new styles and new ways and different formations, which is good to see. And I go, wow, that's good. I like that. So it's really good to see. I love what's been implemented. So people's creativity is open. Yeah.
And I think with that, even if you say has coaching evolved, has coaching changed, you will then tie that into how we play. Has how we play, the style of play, has that changed? Because long of the days where your centre back will get the ball and just hit the centre forward. We now want to play through the thirds. We now want to retain and build the possession of the ball. And as Barry was saying about it, then enables coaches to be creative with their session planning, and then ultimately allows the players then also to be creative and problem solve. But no, it's good enough. Yeah.
You know what's been really important in the change, which we keep skipping over, is how we deal with the preparation of the drill, preparation of players, the warm up. I saw a brilliant video with Jamal doing his warm up. I saw that, Jamal. I see you did your warm up. Things like that. The warm down.
Online, you were supposed to see it.
Yeah, it's the warm up, the warm downs. Back in the day, people didn't do those things. How injuries are dealt with, the way injuries are dealt with. It's all changed. It's all better for the game.
Yeah.
And these things we don't discuss.
How do you feel then? Because I mean, I went. Yeah. So Barry, how do you feel then? Because I went to a Step 5 club. I went to a Step 5 game yesterday. Yeah. And I met the first team manager who must be in his mid-20s. And for Step 5 senior football, So how do you feel now then when I was young, someone in your age group would have been seen as a young-ish coach. And then now you're in a day and age where, the coach is just so young. Someone like you now is seen as an OAP coach now. I mean,
I'm the dinosaur, mate.
So obviously it's more about how you deliver your sessions and what's between the ears than when you were born. But at the same time, how do you feel about proper young coaches, even
I love it. I love that's the only way they're going to get experience. It's like when you say a player's too young to be in the first team. He's not experienced. The only way they're going to get experience is being put right in there.
But don't you think that's different though? Because they're cutting short their playing career to managing.
Yeah, some. I think some people are made to be good coaches and good managers. They're just really good at it. They're naturally born to be good. That's the decision I had to make when I was younger. Do I stick playing semi-pro, or do I go and stick with my coaching? And I love coaching. I just love developing. So I just said, you know what? I kicked semi-pro to the side and started to stick to the coaching. That was my personal decision. And it was a very hard decision because it hurt, because I love my football. So it did hurt. And I just carried on playing mainly Sunday football with friends. So he said, I think it's an individual decision, what has to be made and which way you're going.
I think, Jamal, with that, what you're saying obviously about some managers, the ones that in their mid-late 20s are cutting their footballing career short to step up and coach. It then goes down to sort of your aspiration. And, if you feel you've got a better chance in the coaching field and you can pursue that, but then you probably don't have as good as a chance in the football field. And also some people get injuries that cut their career short.
Listen, not that many people get injured. Not that many people get good. I hear what you mean. When you saw a younger coach, back when I was still playing, torn ACL, rupture. But all these young guys are injured now. Some of them are, but
they just want to be coached. They just want to be coaches, isn't it? Because they love the game.
Well,
they want to be students of. They want to be. We all want to be students of the game. We all want to know the game, don't we?
Managing at that level is very you better bring in the results.
There you go.
There's a lot of pressure. There's much more pressure doing that than playing. Much more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, even at Step 5, you lose 4 or 5 matches in a row. You're looking over your
I mean, and again, please, correct me, if I'm wrong, but for me, I didn't actually start looking at coaches, in depth until probably Mourinho came into the Premiership, because he brought that kind of swagger, that that kind of charisma in terms of kind of, look, I am like the head coach, and you know what, I'm actually better than a lot of these players in terms of what I say, how I feel, and I'm bigger than anyone else. And literally that probably for me changed how I'd say like the younger coaches kind of looked at coaching. And of course there's Guardiola now, and of course now like the Klopp way, in terms of like he's so, like he just literally absorbs himself within the club and with the players. And I think now with like those type of coaches, and of course, like now we have Lampard, we have Rooney, we have who else have we got?
Gerrard.
You know, Gerrard as well. Like these are people that we kind of
Arteta,
grew up with.
Vieira at Crystal Palace. I'm so happy about that, honestly.
100%. So now
he deserved the break.
See, I feel as if it needs to be, in terms of Patrick Vieira in particular, I feel as if like it needs to be a black British manager, because it's almost as if like, oh well, he's black but his French, like it don't really count. Like,
well, you've got but you're saying that, but you're saying that. But if you look at the England national team, Chris Powell was part of the setup this summer. He was part of the setup, senior setup, and he's a very experienced man. You could probably say he's got as much experience as Gareth Southgate.
If no, he has more. He has more.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. There you go. But I think for Patrick Vieira, I think from what I'm seeing in the media, I think the media just wanted him to fail. Like from what I'm reading in the media about Patrick Vieira, for me, I'm happy he's in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and even though I'm not a Crystal Palace fan, but I do hope that he does well.
Yeah, 100%. And
but
Jamal,
only time will tell.
Only time will tell. And Jamal, how has refereeing changed? I'd say in the past 5 to 10 years.
Well, it's had to change with players changing. You know, you have some pretty significant law changes as well in regards to the dynamic restarts with goal kicks, with the playing style changes where on average, even at grassroots level, even at youth level, teams are now genuinely playing out the back. You know, referees have had to be a lot more clever with their positioning rather than just being able to just run impulsively, because teams are playing it into the channels a lot more. There's a lot more target man football. You know, we're in a time now where strikers don't even exist anymore. It's about attackers, and you can play line and still create a lot of chances, score a lot of goals. So yeah, that's how it's changed mostly. But the biggest change overall is referees having to be a lot more open-minded and refereeing the modern way, which is less law-based and more what can I do to avoid controversy. I won't speak about any recent matches in particular at grassroots level, but a key aspect of modern day refereeing is how can I avoid controversy? And to put that in layman's terms for everyone is how can I officiate to where the losing team can't blame me for them losing? But you know, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your experience, you would prefer a team to be absolutely hammering a team, saying, you know what, if I make a mistake, hey, like the game's already won, rather than a close-knit game, because again, that means your decision could either make or break or win, or your decision is more
referees can make howlers if it doesn't affect the scoreline. People only care about referee mistakes when it affects the scoreline or if it gets someone suspended. So when you're going into a game and it's 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, you know that you're likely to have a pretty easy afternoon. So, for instance, if you look at the referee in the Southern Sunday League Cup final today with Swag and Lazio, that referee would have had to have an incredible amount of mental strength and resilience, because at 3-0 at halftime, he's thinking to himself, I can get the cigar out pretty early here, and then 3-1, 3-2, it completely changes now. Yeah. Every single throw-in is important now. Every single corner that you might get wrong, and it can end up 3-3 now, it completely changes. You give a corner when it's supposed to be a goal kick and they score from a corner and it makes it 6-1. It's not the same as when it makes it 1-1. That's just how it is. That's just the reality of football. Goals change games because it's all about the score.
Cool. And again, thank you to all of the comments. I will literally get to those. I think Winja is back on the line. Let me try once more. Winja, how you doing, sir?
Hey.
Yeah, we get you. Yeah, we've got you. How's kind of everything at your end? Yo, Winch?
I feel like Glebe have just signed everyone. I didn't even know. Glebe have just signed everyone. Like, who have you signed? Everyone.
Winch, can you hear us? The reception isn't great.
You're right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh no.
Oh, it's just gone. It's just gone.
You should think, why don't you just speak from his phone? Why don't you just speak from his phone?
Yeah, but possibly, yeah. I mean, hey, I'm gonna literally try and give him a shout back. But I mean, again, hey, like honestly, like thank you to everyone tuning in. So Master Blaster has said, look at the most of the black referees in Premiership over the last 20 years. They are mostly foreign. Think Paul Ince and possibly Chris Ramsey, British managers in the Premiership.
Yeah, that's Paul Ince was a while ago, man. That was a long time ago now, Blackburn.
That's 2008.
2008.
That was a long time ago now, and he had a tough time, even though he got there on merit, what he did with Macclesfield and MK Dons.
Yeah.
Chris Ramsey, what was that? QPR. That was
QPR.
That was short-lived as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that was a tough one. Are they the only two? No, Chris Hughton as well.
Chris Hughton. He's probably one of the successful. Yeah. With Brighton.
He's been done hard by Chris Hughton.
Well, I mean, you say that, but Chris has made a ton of money. He's made a ton of money.
I don't mean that. I mean, his career-wise, even when he's done really well, they're still got rid of him.
I mean, Chris would have made, what, 20, 30 million pounds? I mean, I know money isn't everything, but come on. I mean, I'd trade places with him.
Winge, can you hear us? We can't hear you, No. Oh, he's gone again. He's gone again. He's probably going to try one more time. But hey, we move on. Omar Boss has literally put this in. But again, this is probably a question to myself, I guess. What do you guys think about the Your Fresh Media team this of a season? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm guessing he's saying what do I think of Your Fresh? Hold on.
They put out their team of the season for the Bromley.
Team of the season.
Their best 11.
Let me see if I can get Winge before we answer that. Winge, can you hear us?
To me, can you not hear me properly now? Better now, man.
I can hear you.
Yeah, there's a kind of slight delay, but yeah, it's a lot better. Winge, before you go, can you please introduce yourself to the audience? No. Winge, we can't hear you, No, we cannot hear you. We will probably have to put this interview on hold, and we will literally try and speak to you either later on tonight, when you're indoors, or like again, we probably have to reschedule this. But Winge, can you?
Yeah.
It's a little bit better. Oh, you've just frozen now. It's frozen. Winge, we will definitely have to speak to you later. Once you kind of get onto your house, literally give us a shout. Give us a shout. So oh, my boss. So okay, what do you guys think of Your Fresh team of the season? You know what, Jamal, can you kind of answer this, because literally I've not seen it, so literally apologies.
Yeah, it's a very SE Dons heavy selection. Not too many complaints. I'm a bit surprised No one from sort of Kumasi or Lass got into the team. Obviously, SE Dons, I'm really happy for them. They should be really proud of themselves as well. First league title for a relatively new club. I think they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8?
8. Wow. Okay.
They are 8 of the 11 spots. So Big G in goal, Matty Parsons left back, Ryan Johnson and Joe Denny center halves. I'm not surprised about that because I think they conceded 16 goals in 18 games, something like that.
Yeah.
So they had an average of lower than 1 per game. So SC Dons are always known for their flash and their skill and their goals, but it's the defending. The defending this season has been unreal. So that's something for sure. Then they had Ryan Palmer, who I think is a really good player, Zach Answer up front, and Lefty and Mons in the holding role. So it's literally only Rian from Rucker Seniors, Rory Hill from Hatcham, and Torrin Roberts from Kenningwell.
Okay. So there was no place from Grand Athletic.
Grand are in that league. So Grand are the Metropolitan League. So, the other senior teams in the Orpington and Bromley are Lass, AFC Kumasi, and all the other senior teams have had at least one team in there: Hatcham, Kenningwell, and Rucker Seniors. So no one's made it in from Bickley or Lullingstone or from Lambeth Full Stars. So that's a bit of a surprise, but. Rory Hill, I've seen him play in the London Cup. Really, really tidy player. I'm not sure I've seen Rian play before. I've seen Torrin Roberts play before. I've seen him play 2 or 3 times. Unfortunately, he's been a bit disappointing the few matches that I've seen, but I've seen a lot of highlights, man, and he looks like he's incredibly talented. So
yeah.
So, it's a pretty decent team. Can't really argue with it too much, but. I'll probably have a team slightly different, maybe 1 or 2 spaces, but big up your fresh.
Yeah, definitely. And funny enough, Torrin, I've known Torrin since he was about 8. So literally, I used to play football with his older brother, Renard, as well. Used to coach me as well. So like Torrin, even at 8 was just unbelievable. And so again, like he's just got, of course, gets. It's got bigger, stronger, quicker, faster, which is the same thing.
Yeah, that's kind of why I hate watching players in the London Cup, because you don't get to see the true them in a way, because the games are usually a little bit faster, a little bit tighter, and then because he's such a popular player, watching him against Mile End, they really set up a game plan to stifle him. So you weren't really able to see the best of them, but it is what it is. That's the game.
Yeah, 100%. And again, they kind of briefly to kind of talk about SE Dons and like Lambeth. I mean, of course, Lambeth had a bit of a sticky part of the season last season. I think for like 2 losses to SE Dons, probably like I won't say that the power shifted, but I mean, what did like you guys think about? Like that whole rivalry, and where did you guys think Lass lost it and where SE Dons won it?
Yeah, I mean in the 1920 season, the power definitely shifted to Lass. That's kind of how things work. And then in the 2021 season, it flipped the other way. Simple as that. The pandemic affected people in different ways. SE Dons, I think under the radar, those sort of clubs, Grand Athletic, they've somehow used the pandemic to their advantage, whether it's playing cage games or maybe for some players who had niggly injuries, used as an opportunity to fully heal. But wherever it was, Grand Athletic, SE Dons, under the radar, those sort of teams, AFC Hammersmith Town, Takers, Highgate Albion, those sort of elite grassroots teams, they really utilized the pandemic to their advantage. And for Lads, they had their opposing effect. It wasn't just Lads; it's other teams as well. They had the opposing effect. And
it's Rockers, isn't it?
Rocker Seniors, yeah.
Even if you got a club like M Boys, who deservedly knocked out Rising Ballers out of the London Cup. They were flying high off that, and then the pandemic comes in. It's almost like when you're on top of a team outplaying them, and then halftime comes. And that's the last thing you want. You want that momentum to continue. That's what I said. But yeah, the power shifted to SE Dons, and now it's time for Lass to see if they can respond.
And hey, again, there's kind of Kamazi that was struggling at the back end of last season as well. They've literally recruited well. And of course, it'd be very interesting to actually see what I see, like the teams around them, literally like around, SE Dons, and as you said before, Jamal, like that kind of elite grassroots kind of circle now do this season or next season, however you like see it. And Coach Barry, I mean, do you kind of study your opposition? So have you kind of already marked certain teams that you feel could be challenging Independent this season, or
Oh yeah, we know who our main rivals are going to be straight away. We know that definitely. We know their squad. We know the players they've signed. We know how strong. I watched a couple of their friendlies, so I know they're very good sides. Remember, it's about, if you want to do something, preparation is key. And very important that preparation is key. You have to know what you're up against. So yeah, that's a no-brainer. We always on the lookout for opposition and the new bloods will come into the league, the unknowns. So you don't make them unknown, be aware of what's coming.
And you know what, Coach? The moment
that's so interesting.
You know what? Listen, can I just quickly say something? Coach Barry's body language was just unreal. Like the moment he said, "Yeah, we do our research," but he had a big smile on his face, saying, listen, they should be researching us, like kind of like the air of confidence, that just came from you just now, Coach Barry. I mean, again, is it, how important is it, for like you to, of course, pass on that confidence to your lads, but also, being respectful to, literally for out of defending, for out of attacking, and kind of literally listening to, coaches and kind of managers and literally playing the right way.
How important?
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, if you've properly prepared, your confidence is coach will tell you, Mo will tell you, and Jamal, once you're properly prepared, you're conditioned and you've trained, once you're properly prepared for something, you're ready. That confidence just comes, it breeds. Within the whole team, it breeds.
No. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting that, Coach. I'm fighting that. I'll tell you why. There's absolutely no way that every single time that you've lost a game that you haven't prepared properly. There are some times where it might be freakish, or maybe it's down to the percentages. Hey, when we prepare properly, we win 90% of the time. But that 10% will still exist. And then
I'm saying that. I mean, the long term is what we achieve. Remember, my club, as I say to people, we're about development. It ain't about one. When I bring a player in, it ain't about now. I might look at a player and say, within 2 years, this boy is going to be a top player, or 3 years. So even some of our teams, Jamal, our young teams have lost for the whole season. We've won 2 or 3 games. And then in 3 years, we've become the best team. So it's a gradual building that confidence. Seriously, I've had under 8 teams, under 9 teams, what's won 1 game the whole season. And then we've come within 3 years to become the best team in the league. So it's gradually building, coaching, building. It's all about development. For me, that's my eyes about this. It's developing, keep developing. Not some teams are just about winning trophies.
So
mine is all about developing.
So a couple of questions. One, have you completed your affiliation for the new season? And 2, how many of your teams are you entering into the London Cups?
Oh.
Don't smile at me now. Don't smile at me now. Nah, don't smile at me like that.
We were in the league last year stopped us, Jamal. They said we couldn't enter the Surrey and the London, the AFA and the London. But I think we're going to choose the London. I'm going to go with you this year, Jamal.
That's what I'm saying. But you don't have a choice. You enter all your teams anyway, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm pushing them all into the London this year.
So which one of your teams are you putting into the London Cup, and which one of those teams are you looking to say they can actually contend for the title?
The 16s, very, very strong. But the problem with my 16s now, I've got 4 or 5 what clubs are looking at. So I don't know if I'm going to have them by You know what happens, and it's
Yeah,
all down to
that's the business,
spineless.
though. I mean, in reality, that should be a win-win, right? They either get taken by pro clubs, and if they stay, your chances of winning the title are so high. You know, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but that's the team I think's got the best chance of really storming the London this year. Really storming it. If I can hang on to the top players we've got in that age group.
And like, coach, I mean, you know, I know that you've said it before. You know, you are literally all about nurturing players and like whatnot. And you know, like 100%. Like we've had conversations for like an hour and a half, and you've literally kind of schooled me about just kind of how much kind of that kind of goes on behind the scenes. But also as well, you must have a bit of a like an unbalanced feeling. It's like, okay, well, I want Independent to be successful, and I want trophies for like the cabinet, for potentially new players to actually come in, but also as well, the better players are going to be scouted and they're going to be taken away from me. That's great, but it's affecting Independent. Like how do you know, like what's your kind of mindset when it kind of comes to things like that?
No, it's like what Jamal said, but we're a development club, so that's the whole point of it. Is developing players to a certain level so they move on. Once the players move on, I say to them, I don't want to see you come back here. That's my thing for them. They know that. Go there and start your journey now. Go on that journey. But of course, Jamal knows we've been to the London Cup with Jamal. Jamal's seen us play. We want to win.
Independent don't take the London Cup seriously. They have
Jamal, leave me alone.
teams take it seriously. One team win it very convincingly, but since then they haven't really been entering, and I don't know. But it's fine, you know. It's all right. You know, I don't take it personally. I'm taking it very personally, but fine. It's all right, isn't it? It's
Jamal,
all right.
the league said we cannot enter both cups. That's what the league told us. So we was in the AFA Cup.
No. See, this is what I mean. This is excuses here.
No.
Because, okay, all jokes aside, there's absolutely no way you're gonna tell me that the same amount of professional scouts come to. I'm not calling out any other counties. I'm just saying. Okay. Do you think any other county has more professional scouts coming to their final than London? That's what I'm saying.
No.
So then I don't understand why you wouldn't be the first one you join. But you know. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
I love that. Mimi, let's kind of go to you. Yesterday, could you kind of tell the viewers out there what happened in the afternoon with myself and Nana?
So I had the pleasure of coaching Tobrise and Nana as well. And sort of set out some different sort of technical ball challenges for them, and they went head to head. And overall, I was quite pleased with the quality, and they're flying the flag for their Vets football, obviously off the back of the show last week where it was a Vets football special. So to be able to go out and coach two current Vets players, I was quite pleased with the quality. And they showed the willingness to learn new practices, the willingness to engage in new ways of playing, and top. Both of them were both top, good attitude, and then they both tried their best. And I was still trying to work out who had the slight edge. But each of their own, they've got different qualities. Obviously, they all both play in the same position, and they're trying to vie for that centre back slot in their respective team. But as I said, they both have different qualities.
This one, you can't sit on the fence.
No.
Nana. Well, the thing is, I can't because Nana's not here to.
Nana's not here.
But as I said, obviously, as a coach, I'm definitely always going to encourage and motivate the players that I coach. And as I said, I was really pleased with the standard and the quality of both of them. So good work, guys.
No, listen, you know what, again, big shout out to like you, Mimi, and I can kind of definitely say, in terms of say, well, I don't know if it's the new way of training or like the new way of kind of doing like certain things, but it got me thinking. You know, it kind of got me thinking about my eyes. It kind of got me thinking about my body position, footwork as well, and that all kind of also combines into fitness and, you know, those kind of short sprints that, you know, centre backs don't normally do. But I mean, again, it's again, like it's, you know, like a good overall base fitness, and like Mimi again, like, you know, very well run. You know, and again, I'm gonna say this on camera, and I know Nana's listening. Well, hopefully, Nana, you know. See, okay, you know what? Listen, I've got a lot of time for Nana. Honestly, like he's like one of like my biggest supporters. Like he's like championed me from the start.
All right, stop all that. Do you think you're a better footballer than Nana?
100%.
You're a better footballer?
100%. But you see, but again, I think Mimi controlled Nana pretty well, because you know how Nana's like. You know, if you tell him something, he's always got like a reason why it can't be done, or like it's always yes, but this, and you know, Mimi, you know, control that from the get go. And yes, you know, like.
Is there footage? Tobrise said, is there footage?
It'll
come out. It's coming. It's dropping soon.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Dropping soon.
Coach, there's tons of footage, and again, you know, exactly what I said to Mimi. Like, listen, you know, you have to choose a centre back that you would want in your team. And you know, I know that you've been sitting on the fence. And okay, you know, like we might give you a Blythe this week, but next week we need an answer. 100%, we need an answer. Actually, Coach Barry, you've seen myself and Nana play. Who would you prefer in your back four? And
but when I saw you play you played well you was played more like a holding midfield position. That's why I saw you had a decent game. That was in the final.
Yeah.
That's where Nana plays.
That's when Nana.
That's where Nana plays as well. Nana plays holding midfield as well.
Oh,
Nana's playing in position. He claims he's a holding midfield as well.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
Nana was on
the same team, the same position. Like you can't script it, can you?
But I mean, you know, but like Coach Barry, I mean, just kind of watching Nana play, I mean, what's his strengths and certain things that you think he could improve?
Striking the ball. He kept on striking the ball out of play in the final with the dead ball. But I've seen Nana play in the old cup final a couple of seasons ago, and Nana was decent. Nana's not bad. I think Nana takes too much touches sometimes. Both of you need to know how to shape up and open up a bit better, and just keep. Your best game the other day was the final. You done everything simple. You won it, played the ball. Won it, played the ball. Nana likes to over elaborate. I think Nana fancies himself a bit of a, you know what I mean, a Beckenbauer or something like that.
Barry, it's interesting that point that you said about they both need to open their body up, because that was some of the key themes and the key feedback. And Tobrise can address me if I'm wrong, but that's what I kept encouraging them both to do in terms of how they're receiving. You know, because again, that's the modern way of playing, receiving the ball side on, receiving it on your back foot, looking to play forward. So it's good that you highlighted that as well, Barry. Yeah. So you know, it's good.
Get the ball out your feet. That's the way you play quickly.
Yeah. There you go, 100%.
Have they booked some more sessions, me? Have they booked some more sessions?
Well, Nana actually said to me that he wants. I think this inspired him to want to work more.
Yeah.
So he had a little word in my ear after the session to say, you know, let's sort something out. I said that I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
You know what was like, probably like, you know, like the kind of, for me, what inspired me was just seeing Nana really push himself. So when you see someone push themselves, and you see Mimi really encouraging him, and of course vice versa. Like, you know, Mimi was like pushing me, and then Nana was encouraging me. And then when it's, you know, just like two of you that play in a similar position, you know, you can really just like hone in and, you know, really focus on what you have to do. And honestly, like I put on a major sweat, and you know, and again, like with the little drills that, you know, Mimi set up, you actually think, okay, you know what, I can kind of do this for 30 seconds, a minute. But when you kind of go in that full pelt for a minute and a half, and then you're receiving the ball, you're running, you are kind of side to side, opening up your body, and then, you know, and then you're going into the next drill after maybe like a minute's rest, like, you know, you know, like it really kind of does like push you. And you know, and again, thank you to Mimi, and you know, and also to Elton Goals as well. Thank you for kind of
the accommodation. The accommodation
was second class.
The pitch was sublime as well. The pitch was zipping. The ball was zipping. Good quality pitches over there as well. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Elton Goals.
Yeah, actually, Coach, you've actually seen me play maybe more than once, because were you at the final when we were LSU?
Yeah, when you won, you had a great game.
Yeah.
You had a brilliant game that day as well.
Yeah. I you know, I just want to put it in there. I was man of the
match. And from my observations of coaching, and I said it to him afterward. I said that when you're in it's about preparation. It's about mindset. When you're in that mindset, you know, when he's there and he's in that mindset, then he can thrive. You know, when he gets in that mindset and gets his head in the game and gets his sort of, you know, his mind into the practice, then bang, he'll be, you know, the quality. You'll see the quality.
You know, that Tobrise you're talking about.
You know, I'm gonna.
You don't agree, Barry?
No, but it should be. He's an ex-academy. He used to play for Leeds, remember? Did you know that?
No.
Listen,
he was a Leeds academy player.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So, quiet.
Let's, you know.
Wait. Let's
Tobrise, that's where the link. Aaron Lennon.
No,
you know,
you
know, so okay, so can literally, I could have played for the Leeds United development team, the Yorkshire Amateurs. I was kind of
development. Okay.
Development.
You know, hey, but you know, literally, it was still at a very, very, very high
level. Yeah.
So literally, I was kind of blessed to have kind of grown up with Aaron Lennon. And we used to play football. I mean, again, like, you know, like there was a state, and we literally had this cage. You know, it was literally cage football, and we would just play. And literally, Aaron must have been 8, and we were maybe 15 at the time. And he's like, Dad would always come and watch, and literally, Winston, and like literally, we would like play for hours, and like, you know. Aaron would still hold his own, and like, it was quick, but of course he's 8, so you're supposed to catch him. But if he kind of got away, like you think, oh my gosh, like he's, you know what I'm saying, like he's got something about him. But I think the thing that was the most interesting thing. So when we finished playing football, Winston and Aaron would literally go to the side and practice headering and just keeping the ball up. It was, I mean, we would like look and think, okay, well, they just, I don't know, that they were just playing football. But he would do that every single time. And again, there was myself, a player called Ashley Burgess, that kind of literally was kind of part of the England setup as well. There was Gareth Grant, Ricky Kane, myself, and Aaron and his kind of older brother that was at Manchester United. So there was a group of us, and I would say, like, for myself, I can only talk myself. Of course, my like parents kind of probably wanted me to go down the more academic route. Hey, like, it's cool, you know, like, it's fine. And like my mum and I kind of still joke about it, you know, Alan Smith as well. You know, I was literally around that, you know, kind of those that type of players, and my mum and I always kind of joke about it now. It's like, oh, imagine if we let you kind of go to Scarborough or kind of go to Halifax, because again, the God's honest truth, I've got a younger brother, and my younger brother was, I'd say, 10 times better than me. And I swear down to you, coach, I swear down to you, like, let God be my witness. We had coaches coming up to the door begging my brother to play. And literally, I'm looking, thinking, hang on, but like I like want to play football more like than my brother, but my brother just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, you know, we were kind of very lucky to kind of have that kind of estate street, I'd say, education. And then, yeah, you know, I mean, hey, I was kind of knocking around, and, you know, of course, you kind of get to a stage where you think, okay, you know what, I can't probably even go to that next level. You can even speak to George Lister as well. George Lister can also vouch for me. George Lister told me on numerous occasions, Tobrise, why are you playing grassroots football? Like, you are so much better than this. And again, I was thinking, okay, you know what, I'm going to literally trial next year. And literally, I went for trials at Dulwich Hamlet, but I didn't really take it seriously because there were so many people there. I'm like, oh, okay, what it is. But, you know, I was saying next year. And then all of a sudden, next year turns into 25. Next year turns into 26, 30. And you think, okay, well, like, my time's gone. But like, you know, going back to, you know, like in terms of what Mimi's saying in terms of training, and Coach Barry, you can also speak to Ray about this. When I train how I play, which is very aggressive. Yeah. It's very, you know, I'm kind of passionate, and I can end up injuring players and possibly even injuring myself. And there was an incident where I actually headbutted one of our players by accident, but it was purely because I was so angry that I misplaced a ball. There was no way I was even going to win this ball, but I had to go through the player to get that ball, and we literally bumped heads. And Ray, like, ever since that day, Ray was like, you know what, Tobrise, like, everyone can see what you've got. Just relax, you know. Just, you know, this is training. But, you know, I don't know how. You know, sometimes that's the only way I know how to play, because again, when you kind of play street football, if you lose the ball, or, you know, if you get tackled, I mean, hey, like, people will tell you about yourself. And again, even when I play now, and even in the cup final, sometimes coming on as a substitute, I'm not there to actually say to Ray or to Paul, I should be starting. I'm kind of analyzing the game, thinking, okay, well, because I'm coming on in centre mid or wherever I am, this is what I have to do to try and help the team. And that's exactly what hopefully I did in the final. I thought, you know, I just do it simple, because there was no one else in there that was doing that particular role. And that's what I did.
Nice.
Yeah. So now, like, the stories can hopefully now end now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Someone is, Tobrise, you're just clumsy.
Who is Nigel? Who is that?
I have no idea.
You must know who it is. That's someone who knows you.
I don't know.
That's someone who knows you.
Nigel, please put your real name in. Come on, be, you know what, like, it could be a woman, but be a person and let you put your real name in. I have no idea who you are, Nigel, but hey, okay, fair enough. But again, big shout out to like Mimi, and actually Jamal. I mean, how was, again, like, you've like seen myself and Nana play, and again, all jokes aside, what are kind of Nana's key attributes, and literally what's the stuff that you think I could improve on?
At this stage, it's just impressive when Nana can keep the ball in play. You know, I'm still scarred by his performance at that cup final, which was just a dreadful performance, man. So yeah, but no, it's a bit funny because, you know, it's Vets football. I know, you know, you never stop learning. You can always progress, but, you know, it's Vets football. You know, so it's not about, oh, you need to work on this. You know, Tobrise, you got trials coming up. I just think football is a lot about approach, and you seem to psychologically approach games the right way because it's about simplicity for you. And I don't know what the difference is with Nana. He kind of approaches it from a complexity standpoint, and when complexity works, it works better than simplicity. But yeah, you need to be playing on some very good surfaces, which isn't always the case. You need to be making sure that everyone is. I mean, complexity takes a lot of training, and it's grassroots. It's amateur football, right? So we don't have time for that. So I just think it's some. You play the game simplistically, and that's how it should be. Nana, yeah, man, just make sure your goal kick stay in play.
And again, this is probably like a question to Coach Barry and also to Mimi. Do you think after a certain age, again, we're like talking about vets, can you kind of still teach your old dog new tricks? Is it kind of
yeah? Every day is a learning day.
But I mean,
it's whether the player and the at that vet is whether they're willing to take on that new information. So it's down to the individual.
But Tobrise, I've tried a few times coaching like men's team, and it's very difficult, very, very difficult, because you've always got players in there what think, who are you? You can't tell me nothing. If you're not coachable, it's very hard for the coach.
Yeah, coachable.
Really hard. You've got to be coachable. Some people think I'm there, I know as much as you can't tell me that. This is me. And it's very hard. So with men, me personally, I haven't got the patience with men. I'm like, all right, see that.
I'm hearing a bag of excuses here, I don't understand that. So there's guys in the mid-20s managing guys in their late 20s. And you are a much older man, and you're saying you can't coach a bunch of guys in the early 20s.
So we're talking about vets. Are we talking about vets?
Oh, okay. So the vets in particular is hard for you to coach.
Oh, I just think when you're like 35, 40, you should have some basic understanding of the game and touch. I just find it difficult. I've just been honest. I just find it difficult.
No, that is a challenge, because even refereeing vets football is particularly more challenging also. So that isn't anything about coaching in particular, playing, refereeing in particular. I think vets football on a whole is so sort of specialized. It has its separate challenges.
Yeah.
So some pretty good debate going on in the comments right now.
Yeah, I can see it. This Nigel guy, I think it's Nana, but hey, let's it's cool. But hey, let's kind of go into Football Scout TV. Actually, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, so literally apologies. I can see that changing is sorry. I can see that changing this season. I can't even read. I can see that changing this season, and I remember I told you Rocker will beat the overrated Dons.
Wow, he said overrated. Wow, that's deep.
Okay.
I mean, Dekritich. It'd be interesting to see why he thinks SD Dons is overrated when they just won the league. But I'm sure he must have his own. He must be able to back up his opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Rocker Seniors. Yeah, I've heard really good things about that. One thing I would say for sure: every time SC Dons play Rocker Seniors, they know that they're in for a game. They know they're in for a game. I think Rocker took a point off them this season, and from what I heard on social media, SC Dons said they were quite lucky to hold on for a draw. They should have lost. So obviously, what Dekritich is saying holds some weight. I don't know about Dons being overrated. I don't. What else can Dons do? Really, they've lost in the quarterfinals of the London Cup twice, both times to the winners, and now they've won their league with one of the lowest seeded tallies ever. So I don't know how that makes them overrated, but I don't know.
Football Scout TV. In terms of media, is Sunday League media and interest better than Step 4 level, or will it be, or can it not be compared?
I think at this stage, Sunday League, in terms of social media, might even be better than League 1, League 2. let alone step four. I mean, if you think about it, you know, I don't know why the social media teams, the digital marketing teams of clubs like AFC Wimbledon, Leighton Orient, Morecambe, Accrington, Stanley, you know, people like Big G are more popular than League One, League Two players. I know, you know, he's on Sky Sports quite often, but I mean, you know, it's not like Big G plays for Manchester United or something, or Brighton. Or, you know, it's just mad. So, you know, Football Scout TV is trying to be modest and saying, oh, well, can it be compared to step four? Step four, you're thinking way too low. You know, you think a lot higher than that. I mean, you step one, League Two, League One. I mean, social media, in terms of social media, in terms of press media, maybe not. In terms of level, maybe not. But boy, social media, Sunday League. I mean, Sunday League is winning right now.
Yeah, actually, and Coach that Barry, like, now I know that we've spoken about it on this channel, but what do you guys think about social media and like how like would you feel, Coach, if like one of your players would, you know, literally, I'd say a football influencer, and you know, would you encourage that more, or you know, what's your
I think SC Dons have come and just shown everyone how it should be done, and the exposure they've got, and the way they've brought up everyone, the way they're doing things, it looks so professional the way they do stuff. Not just that, with everything about the club is done right. They've made stars out individually. It's a bit like, you know, remember Arsenal TV?
Mm-hmm.
But they've done it in a different, in a nicer way, I would say, a more acceptable way than Arsenal TV. Because I didn't agree with everything what Arsenal TV were doing.
Arsenal tried to make characters out of banter, whereas SC Dons did it with banter and the football. That's from what I saw.
Yeah, but Arsenal TV was just some of it was so negative sometimes. It was really, I found it a bit disturbing sometimes, the way it was just, I was like, whoa, it was, you know what I mean? Some of it was a bit OTT for me. But I think the social media is great. It's shown people everything what's going on. It's given us a platform for people at the grassroots level, which there wasn't before, and shown people this is the way it can be done. And the way they promote their clothes, everything they promote about the club is done in a nice, jokey way, entertaining way. It's really good entertainment when you watch it. I think a lot of people say, oh, it's not overrated, it's just that they're a popular club. Just how charcoal's becoming so popular. When you're liked and lots of people are following you, you're going to get people that dislike you. I don't know why. When you're up there, people don't like you. I don't know why.
Well, I think the problem with the word overrated is it doesn't mean that whoever you're calling overrated, it doesn't mean that you don't think they're good, you know? So if 6 and above is good, you know, they probably think SC Dons is an 8 out of 10, but they think everyone else thinks they're a 9.5 out of 10. And like, well, technically that makes you overrated, you know? Yeah. But
like you said, didn't they win the league?
Yeah, I mean,
won the league.
They've won league cups, they've won leagues. There's literally only the London Cup and maybe the National Cup left for them to win.
They're a good side, man. They're a very good, very, very good Sunday side. One of the elite Sunday sides. To me, you can't knock them. There's some very good sides out there.
Yeah. And Mimi, I know that your Sunday afternoon consists of a run, an apple and an orange, and watching SC Dons content. So again, what's your take on like social media and literally how football teams have now embraced it?
Yeah, it's changed from you know, when we're looking at how has refereeing changed, has coaching changed, has playing football changed over the past 10 years, then the use of social media and where and what it can sort of lead to has changed in a positive light in terms of the exposure, and then like what Coach Barry and Jamal were saying about how they're bringing their players along as well, and their players are then in the ways of they're sort of bringing their players on the journey as well, and it's a sort of real and authentic feel in terms of why I'm sort of engaged by them. It's just the fact that they're just real guys from sort of similar part of South East London like myself, and they've come together with a football team, good set of friends and family, and they've just basically like what Jamal's saying, they've backed it up with winning. county cups, league cups, and the league this season. And in terms of their content and what they produce, and how more recently over the lockdown, what I liked also about them is that they were also going on other. They'll go they're willing to support other channels and other startups and podcasters, and go on and share their message and support other platforms, which is good. And then I think social media, I think other teams are now, other Sunday League teams at that level are investing more time into social media and, trying to create a brand, through their football club, which is good, because, if we can't get as close to the professional game because of the politics or the logistics or legality, then we all know about grassroots football. And we all started on grassroots football, and even the numbers that some of these clubs are doing, like again what Jamal was saying, Big G being on Stock AM and whatnot, and the views that they're pulling in as well, and it's all just ordinary people, it's ordinary people just getting on that, but we're just gripped by. Again, for me, I'm just gripped by their how authentic they are and how real they are. I think that's what sort of engages me to want to watch their content and watch their games. And one day I want to go down and actually watch a game. I've been saying that to myself, but hopefully
You haven't
this
watched
season.
the game yet? Jeez.
Not live. I'm
gonna have to
Live.
watch the preseason game with Beatties, because season before last season when they had their annual friendly with Beatties, I must have watched that 6 or 7 times. It's so entertaining. It's so if you haven't seen it already, man, just the 2021 season. Watch SC Dons v Beatties. I mean, it's just
when they beat them.
Yeah, a similar game. SC Dons went 3-0 up, and Beatties came back to make it 3-2, and then Beatties had a penalty to make it 3-3, and then they missed it. Oh man, the drama! It just reminds me so much of how we grew up, just a ring of people around the pitch.
But
And, boy, it's great.
But the fact that obviously there's all the sort of those high-ended Sunday League teams that you're talking about at the start of the show, and how they've just created a platform for themselves, and how now we're just joking and talking about them, but we can't really talk and joke about the professional game like that because it's different. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the way how they've, I feel they've brought communities and people around London and the greater land that we live on. Like they travel to various locations, and literally I think they've brought a whole football community together through just again their authenticity. That's it. We got there in the end.
No, yeah. I mean, funny enough, I'm literally just trying to find something now. But I mean, again, I've kind of interviewed Gardy a couple of times. And that video is out on the Amateur Football Channel. There's an interview that I did with Joe Merry, aka Ginger Joe. Again, we literally spoke for about an hour. They're really accessible. I've done an interview with Chris, the cameraman. This is like a few years ago as well. This is they've literally paved the way, or literally paved. Literally opened doors to make it. Well, I mean, of course, it was kind of always, acceptable, but now it's the norm now. And if it wasn't because of teams like Palmer's FC, let's not forget about Palmer's FC. Hashtag United as well, and of course SC Dons. Those free teams literally got everyone watching YouTube football content. I would prefer watch an hour's worth of YouTube content than literally watch the kind of Charity Shield, Arsenal, Chelsea, and that's just kind of my own view. And
man, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they're just maybe just too many professional games. it's really turned back, I feel, into some sort of village football. And if you aren't part of that, it don't really. There's some huge games that take place across the world. Well, where that world stops. Orlando Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs, Boca Juniors and River Plate. Like, it may not be that big deal to you, but in those parts, the world stops. And I just wonder if it's kind of becoming like League 2 and League 1 have allowed the National League Prem, which is step 1, which is a league, a division and 2, but below them, and they've allowed all this social media football to just swallow up League 1, League 2, where people every season they're like, yeah, AFC Wimbledon. Wait, which division are they in again? Leighton Orient, Barnet. People really don't care about people are watching SC Dons and under the radar on Beatties now, and this game might change in a way where SC Dons have made a big when they got Jordan Green, who was playing professional football for Southend, to say I'd rather play for SC Dons instead. If there's any sort of mass of players who would rather play at elite grassroots and have their side hustle or their day job to allow them that flexibility to push their non-footballing career, this whole cycle is going to change massively.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens. But League 1, League 2 football, I mean, who watches it anymore? 46 games a season plus FA Cup plus the whatever the League Cup trophy is called now. Plus the Carabao Cup. No, the League 2 team. It used to be
is it the FA Trophy?
No, that's for step 4 to step 1.
I know what you mean.
The EFL
Checker trade.
It used to be the Checker trade. It used to be
change the name.
Is it
all these names?
EFL.
The Vaz?
I don't even know what it's called.
No. FA Vaz for step 5 to step 7.
Build base.
No. They sponsor the FA Trophy. See, we don't even know the name of it.
Exactly.
That's how insignificant it is. I mean,
too many.
The professional game, and even now, you go to non-league games, and there's barely anyone under the age of 50 watching. Anyone under the age of 50 is the number 8's brother or the number 6's little cousin. Those aren't spectators. Those are family guests, the player guests. In terms of actual season ticket holders, it's hard to go to any non-league ground and find anyone under the age of 50. Anyone under the age of 20 is watching YouTube football. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Coach Barry, you mentioned the 2 words that strike fear into Black Klopp, the charcoal. What did you think about the show last week? And let's kind of keep it a buck. Charcoal have kind of come onto the scene and they've made a social media presence. And again, they raise money for charities and again, they are kind of contributing to like men in our generation. Regarding vets in football. So I have to applaud them. I would love to kind of get your take in terms of you was watching. I mean, what did
I watched most of the show? It was a brilliant show. I thought it was great. For me, it was very informative. But some of the teams, I don't know them. I have no idea. And they're very, very. I've seen Charcoal. I know a lot of. I know the Pipers. I know Patterson was at Accra. I know a lot of their players. So I know Charcoal's got a very, very, very good side. Because I know their players. But the things they're doing, like the charity, the way they put their social media together, the way they do their brand, excellent. And some of the other guys on there, obviously everybody knows, what's it called? Who always wins the league? Is it Don? What they call it again?
Crayford Wombell.
Wombells, yeah. Everybody knows Wombells.
Well, I didn't.
The guy done the whole show in his bed, didn't he? With his top off.
I know. No shame. No shame as well. I never heard of Wombell, but apparently there seems to be that elite vets team. I need to go and look them up. I'm going to look them up now. While I'm looking up, I'm going to see if Independent have started their affiliation.
Oh, God.
So, Mimi, what?
Tobrise, you should have had Manor on there. Manor should have been on there.
Yeah, listen, you know what I mean? Like it's
Man are the
again,
national champions, man. You just got to get man on.
yeah, you know what, coach? Like we are gonna do a part 2, and Mana needs to be in, part of this conversation 100%. And you know what? It's about even educating myself. It's kind of very easy for me just to say, okay, I'm gonna pick these teams because I know the players or I know of them. And again, I would love to get Mana on. Definitely.
And you've got to have your hats off for Wombles, what they've achieved over the last years. Well, how much have they won? 12 times they've won the
They've won a
cup.
lot.
It's crazy. Every year you say Wombles won this, Wombles won this, one. Every year they're Glebe now, isn't it?
Yes.
Like Jamal said, everybody's joining Glebe. I don't know what's going on.
Well, hold on. So who do they have in their team? Because they must have some ex-pros in their team if they're that successful.
Their team's full of ex-pros, Jamal. Full.
Who? I mean, you don't
Jimmy Bullard. Remember Jimmy Bullard?
Yeah, but the guy said he don't play that often, though.
No, but he's brought in all the guys in, isn't he? He's bringing all these pros in. I haven't seen them lately, but I know their team's full of ex-pros. It's just like, have you interviewed Interwood as well? There's another good team.
Yes.
No, I saw Interwood. So
yes.
Interwood were very disappointing in them because obviously they won the Vets Cup and then they withdrew this season, so they didn't defend it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I saw that. So I saw Jamal Campbell-Rice and Derek Asamoah play.
Yeah, quality.
Yeah, they used to have, their team used to be full of pros as well. Interwood, Livingston, all those teams are full of pros.
Livingston. What happened to Mayfair? Mayfair used to be big back in the day. I don't know if they still have it, but
I don't know, Stephen. I don't know. They've gone really quiet. A lot of their players have gone to LSU. A lot of their players are playing at LSU at the moment.
Yeah.
But good show, Tobrise.
Thank you.
Good show. Very good show last week.
Thank you. Mimi, did you watch the show last week? And if
yeah.
you did, I would actually love to get your take on it.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's good to get an insight into the caliber of Vets football sort of around London and the southeast, and then sort of in terms of the topics that they were discussing. For someone who probably doesn't have a lot of knowledge or exposure to Vets football, probably up until now, it's good to again educate myself in terms of Vets football and the difference. There's not just those there's not just like people running around maybe with beer bellies or overweight, but you've got some players there who can play football technically, physically. So it's good. No, it was good. And as you said, I think there needs to be a part 2. I think there's some unfinished business amongst some of the the coaching, management staff, playing staff. But no, it's good, man. I think it's good.
Yeah, you have to love Paul the Black Cop Barrett. I mean, when he was just there, he patiently waited for everyone to finish, and then he said, "Yeah, we're independent FC. We don't talk. We just win games." Oh man! And then and in regards to the charcoal, once again, another reason why I hate. I won't judge them off of their performance in the cup final because they really didn't look that impressive. But a lot of teams don't look impressive on a cup final. For them to get to that cup final, the Vets Cup last season, we usually only have around 30 teams enter the Vets Cup. We had about 64 enter. So to get to a final with 64 teams is impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
They seem to start pretty well, but then after that, it's difficult to tell if they didn't turn up or if they just played against a team who stifled them or whatnot. I really didn't see that good of a performance from them.
Jamal, that team, I don't know. I had a very good side. The team that won the final. What they called?
West Fulham. Yeah, West Fulham. I mean, West Fulham looked like they were going to get beaten pretty badly because Charcoal started well. And Charcoal weren't really playing no great football. It was just decent, good quality football.
Yeah,
playing the ball about. Everyone seemed pretty energetic. But then it just felt like after about 20 minutes, West Fulham just turned into a bunch of 20-year-olds and Charcoal turned into a bunch of 40-year-olds. And the energy was just like, when you make a bad pass and then you chase it down, win the ball back, and those sort of things, losing the second balls, it just kept happening. And Charcoal just looked like they couldn't keep up. And I'm just like, that sort of thing must happen quite often. But if it does, you can never get to a final like that. So I mean, something must have happened. I don't know if it was the Prem. I know for a fact I didn't see the best of Charcoal on that day. They must be a much better side than that.
Yeah.
Having said that, if they play badly and still only lost by 1 goal, that's a good indication of how good they are, I guess.
Yeah. And again, big shout out to James, who's the manager at Charcoal. Again, he's doing amazing stuff, within the club.
But Tobrise, there's still a lot of controversy about him being put into the top division.
Well, I mean, Nigel just put in a comment. I'm
just reading that.
Charcoal are a very good team. However, on merit, they don't deserve to be where they're at the expense of teams who are or have been doing it for years. It's the league leadership stroke board which is crap.
Okay.
I mean, again, I listen, you know what? I kind of did a video, I believe it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, about how possibly Paul may have come across to people that don't know Paul or literally don't know the situation, and literally what it is the league said that there was no promotion or relegation, but again, when we kind of looked at the league table, certain people moved up a division, and some people moved up from Division 3 to Division 2, and some people moved down, etc. So it's kind of one of those things where I think
careful.
No. Listen,
careful.
You know what?
They
listen.
said no promotion or relegation. They didn't say any movement, because that's happened in the non-league pyramid as well, where from steps 3 to 6, or step 3 to 7 technically, where some teams have had to been moved either sideways or up. Well,
okay,
you weren't necessarily promoted, or but you were allowed. I forgot the word they used, but I think it's a technical progression or something like that.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, there was there were just a lot of things that's kind of happened before Charcoal came, and I think a lot of teams felt hard done by. But again, I think Charcoal will kind of definitely hold their own. I think LSU are favorites to actually win the division. I think regarding Division 2, I think Independent are going to be up there with Catford, Elton Palace, and who else is there? Probably Santos. But again, we've only played 4 or 5 league games, so we didn't even play everyone. So again, I don't want to disrespect teams that we've not played. But the only thing I can say, in terms of I can kind of judge the quality that independent vets have, and again, I think if you guys have watched the final, you've seen the spirit, you've seen the fitness, you've kind of seen the kind of mentality of that never say die, and again, that will that's literally put us in kind of great positions before, and Division 2 is going to be very, very competitive. Division 1 is even more competitive. However, we have beaten Division 1 teams. We beat VCD 6-1, 6-2. So hey, should Independent, I don't know if we were in the hat, but
I mean, this is
Jamal.
different.
Oh, sorry, Jamal. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Jamal, who makes you see, you said, movement from a team coming from step 3 or 5 and the movement? How is that decision made? Do you know how that's made?
Yeah, it's a very, very long, deep consultation process between the FA committee, FA Leagues committee, so on and so forth. Lots of committees are involved in that. But they go through to fill in a lot of blanks, dot a lot of I's, cross a lot of T's. But with the league now, with the grassroots league, they're left to their own autonomy. We don't even get involved in that. And I know Nigel and a few other people from last week brought up some very important sort of themes and narratives that take place in that, in regards to where the team is placed. So I'm with Barry. I have my team. Barry and I fall out. I want to go and join Mimi's team, but Mimi's team is in Division 5. They now have a bunch of Prem players in their team. Should Mimi's team get moved up to the Prem? and it's very awkward. Now Nigel types, "Hey, listen, Charcoal, good side, but they didn't deserve to be there based on how the progression is supposed to work."
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Charcoal, as far as I'm concerned, clearly they've been placed in the appropriate division, because for them to get to the London Cup final, they should be in the top division of whichever league they're in. But now it kind of has that boxing sort of UFC feel to it, like, oh, well, you won a title, but you didn't earn your title shot. It's like, I get it, but you're either good enough or you're not, and then if you want to jump teams, you have to pay a price. I think that's what happened with LSUB, who became independent. It's very tricky, but it's down to the league. The league committee can decide how they want. They should be following their rules as closely as possible, but it's down to the league.
Yeah. It's the league decision. It's not Charcoal's decision.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen. I mean, Charcoal can easily.
Oh, Tobrise. What the guy suggested, was there any transparency on the decision? Did anybody know?
Yes, technically yes. So the league committee are supposed to get together at either an AGM or SGM or EGM.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to have a meeting either face to face or virtual, and there's supposed to be minutes of that meeting. Now, every club would then have the right to request those minutes to see how the decision was made. Now, let's be honest though, Barry, with the greatest respect, I don't know Nigel, I don't know anyone else. That takes you have to really have a serious, deep interest to sit down and read some minutes. If you don't have the longest attention span, it's going to be very boring. It's very administrative. And then on top of that, you can easily say, oh, but these minutes could be fudged. These minutes can't be, they could be fabricated, or, but in terms of accountability and transparency, that's as transparent as it can be, because it is a private meeting. You can't just, you can't just live stream a league meeting. You shouldn't anyway, or they have every right not to. But, in terms of how to place each team in each division, it's tough. In reality, you should have some sort of play in competition. That's what I would do. You'd have to have a play in competition. And if you are a new team and you think you belong in the Prem, well, then you're going to have to play some Prem teams in preseason and play your way in. And if you get beat, you go to Division 5.
I think the decision to do what they've done has rubbed up a few people the wrong way, and a few teams, and they feel hard done by it. But you're always going to get that.
But the thing is, what's happening here is a different sport mentality is creeping into football, which is basically a combat sport, boxing, MMA. So if I am ranked 5th and Barry's the champion, and Mimi and Tobrise are supposed to get a title shot before me, if I then go and fight Barry because I wormed my way in somehow, and then I knock out Barry to become the champion, the transparency and the accountability might not be there, but clearly it's a good decision because I'm good enough. Now, I hear what Nigel's saying. Nigel's talking a lot of sense. But the problem is the Charcoal might have jumped the queue or maybe been allowed division because look how good they've turned out to be. So it's a tricky one. I get it, but they're either good enough or they're not.
Yeah.
In the Tobrise, in our league, the youth league, in the younger age groups, if a team's too strong, by Christmas they change all the divisions around. So they move. If you're winning 10-0, they move you straight up. They don't wait till the end of the season, the non-competitive division. So they work it out as the season goes along. So
I feel like a lot of flexibility is allowed in the youth.
Yeah,
and when you look at it, there's no difference. It's roughly the same amount of games. There's no real need for it to be that different. That same amount of flexibility could be applied for the adults, but
it makes it more even. You don't want to be winning 10, 15. It's no good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Herne Bay vets team saying they're winning games by double digits.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say that for the most part, they don't have no competition.
Yeah, it's not.
I think what it is now, of course, people are going to be looking out for Charcoal's results. Charcoal have like now by hook or by crook. Well, not by hook or by crook, but now people are talking about vets football a lot more. And of course, there's teams like Independent, there's teams like LSU, there's teams like Catford that have been knocking around a lot longer. But I mean, hey, like it's what it is. Like Charcoal can easily bring an army of 200 to 300 people to a league game. Easily. And you've got to take that into consideration. when you kind of, the president of a league will think, with these type of teams, we kind of want them to like be one of the marquee teams in the kind of top division. Like you can't argue with things like that. But again, it's got everyone talking. It's definitely.
But Tobrise was the only charcoal that got pushed up.
I believe it was charcoal, and I don't think there was a relegation from like Division 1. So I don't want to quote a name, but I mean, to be honest, I should know, but it's only charcoal that's really on people's minds.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not just there's other teams that got pushed up. Not just charcoal. Charcoal.
Yeah. Exactly. So wait, sorry, Nigel just said that the AGM hasn't happened. So are you talking about them being moved up for this coming season or last season?
No, this season.
Well, the thing is, but they've got to the London Cup final though. So if that is merit technically.
I mean, technically, because West Fulham are not in our league, so Charcoal can technically say, we are the best team in this whole league. So
they got the furthest in their league, yeah.
Yeah. So literally, they can kind of claim that we are the best team in all of the divisions. So
Jamal, I think people are complaining because they said there wasn't a meeting. It was just the chairman's decision.
I was off. I thought you were talking about last season.
I think it's the chairman's. So I don't know, but I'm staying out of it.
Yeah, I'm staying out of it as well because I mean it's not completely off merit because if they've got to a London Cup final, that makes sense. I know it should be off of league performance merit, but being hyper technical now.
Cool. Guys, you know what? This is a great way to end the show. Honestly, I've actually thoroughly enjoyed this. So again, thank you to Jamal, Mimi, and Coach Barry. And hey, I'm gonna literally put it out there as well. Hey, I'm kind of looking to actually sponsor a few things. So if people are looking for sponsorship, give me a shout. I'm just putting it out there because I know there was a conversation about about me sponsoring a certain team. I'm not gonna say, but hey, if kind of people, if it's something that I can help with, I will try my damn hardest. And that's all I have to say on that.
Tobrise, you forgot to mention. Tobrise, you forgot to mention. Is it true? Independent are playing charcoal.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Oh my God.
So league first round. I don't know when, don't know where, but again, I know Charcoal are going to be promoting it. Charcoal have already been literally been on Paul's back already on Instagram and on social media. So literally, this game is going to be hyped up. I can imagine there's going to be a crowd like a final. And again, let's see who can actually rise and actually, accept the challenge and actually win. Because hey, as I said before, people are now going to be looking at Charcoal's results. If they win, people are not going to say too much. If they lose, exactly what people do to Dons and to Under the Radar and to Lass as well, they say, I told you so. You're not as good as you think. But again, we have been drawn against them, so it's going to be interesting. Going to be real interesting.
Yeah.
Guys, honestly, thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to say on Wednesday I have a video, Ginger Joe 5 Rules of Life. So please tune in. The video will be out. Actually, I don't know exactly when, but again, please follow me on Instagram to get more information. Jamal Hon from the London FA, Coach Barry, the founder of Independent, Mimi of MO Football Coaching. It's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen.
Mimi, release that footage, Mimi.
In due course.
All right.
So, guys, you've been watching the amateur footballer Unhinged. My name is Tobrise, the best grassroots defender in London. Facts. Isn't it right, Mimi? Thank you.
You
guys
got to
for
back yourself. No, you got to say it with confidence. Beat your chest whilst you say it. You got to back. You got to back your ability. Well, yeah, you got to back yourself.
Thank you guys for watching, and we see you guys next week.